Hi, my name is Delyse Ledgard and I'm a registered clinical counsellor working in downtown Vancouver. If you're a couple considering therapy, it is likely that at least one of you, if not both of you, are rather apprehensive about the process. This is understandable, especially if there's a lot of arguing and blaming going back and forth. You probably want to know that therapy isn't just going to be a place where all that painful stuff gets aired and you end up feeling worse. Now, while hurts and resentments may be important to talk about, therapy is a lot more than this. So let me tell you some of the things that we might focus on, and to do that, we need to start by talking about the beginning of your relationship. I imagine that when you first met, there was lots of excitement and passion and sense of togetherness. You bonded. You wouldn't be here today if you hadn't bonded in those early months, perhaps even years. We bond at this time because there's a focus on how we are similar, how we want to create a life together, the things that connect us, all the kinds of things that we are similar in. But as time goes on, we become more complex to one another and we begin to notice our differences and perhaps even the way we rub each other up the wrong way. And sometimes we may even question, is this person right for me? So what is it that's happening that we have lost that connection with one another? In lots of ways, this is a normal process for couples to go from this sense of intense togetherness to more of a difference and disagreement and conflict. And that transition is what we call a process of differentiation. So when this happens in relationships, couples often develop dynamics to cope with the loss, disappointment, anxiety that occurs when you feel this separation. When you notice difference, there's a space, and that can cause you to feel more distant with one another, and sometimes even alone in the relationship. How you deal with these conflicts will determine how easily your relationship moves into more differentiation. Some couples resist this process and get stuck. After all, you didn't enter the relationship anticipating conflict and difference and disagreement. You formed a relationship because you wanted to feel together and feel that you were creating a life with somebody and that you weren't so alone in the world. All of these are aspects of the relationship that are to do with how you are in sync with each other and how you're connected, not how you feel different. So when this happens, it can really stir up some very uncomfortable feelings to cope with, sometimes even feelings of betrayal and mistrust. So there are a number of ways in therapy that we might focus on to help guide you through this process of differentiation. Here are a few of them. Firstly, we might look at your reactions to one another, the emotional reactions that you have during these times when you're experiencing this distance from each other and having to deal with each other's differences. The more you're aware of your reactions, the more control you have over how you respond to one another. Secondly, we would develop an understanding of the dynamics that you have developed to resist differentiation. Thirdly, we would work at regulating and calming those reactions to one another that arise as you deal with the anxiety that comes up around this separation and feelings of loss, etc. And fourthly, you practice communication tools that are designed to help you develop more differentiation in your relationship and develop a curiosity about each other's difference, rather than a desire to coerce each other into being the same as you. These and other aspects of therapy are designed to help you develop more of a relationship that is based on accepting each other as you are, and one that includes your differences rather than puts pressure on each other to be the same. Relationships are so important to all of us. Let's work together to make yours the best it can be.